Good evening, everybody. Welcome into our first Sunday Night Weekly in a long time. I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma alongside Ryan. Say hello, Ryan.
Good evening, everybody.
Perfect. Let us know how we're sounding on your end. We had a busy day today here at the office, posts, you name it. Everyone's kind of doing a thing today, and we'll continue this week. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. Looks like we're coming through okay. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and pull stream chat up on YouTube in the background as well.
Make it a habit. 7 minutes.
If you hear anything, that was YouTube playing an ad. Perfect. Thank you guys very much. I am quiet compared to Ryan. Testing, testing. I will go ahead and turn my wireless mic up a little bit more. And hopefully that sounds better. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with current radar out there tonight. As you can see, we do have a clipper moving in tonight here on the 1st of February into the 2nd of February, 2026. Again, current time is 7:05 p.m. Make sure to hit that like button as you come in as well. This snow is moving off directly to the east overnight tonight. It will be impacting places to the west of US 127 tonight in the morning hours, and again to the east of 127 in the late morning to early afternoon hours. And again, we'll go over that here in just a second. We have one active alert in the entire state of Michigan tonight, and that is a flood advisory for an ice jam currently in the on the Muskegon River in Newaygo County, specifically for the town of Newaygo. This has been going on for, boy, it's almost been a week now since they first issued this, and here it is still active. And again, ice jams are rather unpredictable. So if you are in the town of Newaygo, downstream from the Croton Dam, be advised an ice jam is ongoing and flooding is possible in the minor stage along the river. Moving on now to our upper air maps for the week. The best thing to do here is go to the Euro and switch over to upper air to 300. There we go. Actually, no, that's not what I wanted. Upper air wind 700. There we go. And zooming out at our Great Lakes region. So this is what kind of drives the systems this week. So Ryan kind of mentioned this in his daily forecast that we do have northwest flow that is starting back up again for this first week of February, and that northwest flow is responsible for continued systems into the area, although this week rather quiet compared to some of our previous weeks so far in January, and we'll talk about that, of course, upcoming. As you can see here, the isobars, which are those black lines you see on the screen, those are our pressure gradients across the entire area, and when they're oriented from northwest to southeast like that, that is usually a sign of what's called northwest flow. So this is moving in throughout the week. In fact, this is our system that's coming through today, or tonight into tomorrow, and then as we move into Tuesday, that northwest flow continues. Now we do have high pressure in the area, and when we have high pressure, that means clear weather. So Tuesday through Wednesday here, as we get into Thursday, we also have clear weather, partly cloudy skies, even some sunny skies for portions of Michigan as we move throughout the middle portion of the week. And then as we move into Friday, we do have a strengthening jet streak moving in, just a fancy word for very strong winds in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Now this jet streak is going to provide more moisture into the region and also cause the deepening of a low pressure system, which does have a chance to bring us some snow as we move into the Friday timeframe. Now temperatures on Friday, as you'll see here in just a second, are going to be a little bit warmer, and so there could be multiple precipitation types involved as we move into Friday. And on Saturday and Sunday, this northwest flow continues, but more dry air continues into the region behind the center of that jet streak. And again, the brighter the colors, the more red the colors here, the stronger the winds are in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So you're looking at winds here of 100 miles per hour or higher up there in the middle levels of the atmosphere. Obviously not down here at the ground, should clarify that. But again, it is what is pulling in all this moisture from the northwest. Temperatures for this week, we'll go ahead and switch over to our surface temperatures. Here on the Euro, so this was as of this afternoon's run on the Euro. Again, these runs come out every 6 hours. So the most recent one was 1 o'clock this afternoon. The Euro will run again here later tonight. Temperatures this week going to be actually rather pleasant. You can't really complain if you're a cold weather lover or a warm weather lover, as we move throughout the entire week. So starting off, of course, today we had temperatures in the 20s out there for portions of, actually really all of Michigan. Then we move into Monday, and guess what? We see more of those 20s move in. We actually do have a chance at 30 degrees along Lake Michigan tomorrow due to some of the lake effect clouds there, and of course the slightly warmer lake temperatures. Not by too much, as you can see, there is some ice that is forming out there on the lakes. As we move into Tuesday, we do cool down, of course, overnight, as we usually do during any overnight period. On Tuesday, we do have temperatures out there that could be in the low 20s. Otherwise, if you're in the upper peninsula, especially the western UP, temperatures up there in the high teens. And we move into the Wednesday time frame. This is going to be one of our colder days of the week. As we saw, if you guys checked our 6 p.m. forecast for the week, temperatures in the teens for pretty much the entire state. A couple places sneaking up into the 20 to 22 degree range for Wednesday, but for the most part, we'll be in the teens on Wednesday, one of our coldest days of the week, as I mentioned. Gets cold, of course, on Wednesday night. Some temperatures below zero up there in the UP. And then as we move into Thursday, those temperatures rebound right back up, and we do have our first chance at temperatures at or above freezing for portions of Michigan, which is going to be the first time in about 2 to 3 weeks for some locations in Michigan. Again, we've been rather cold so far for at least the back half of January, and we are continuing that here to start February, although a little bit warmer. But again, here's Thursday. As you can see, temperatures starting to get close to that freezing mark, so back up from the teens and the 20s. This continues as we move into the Friday time frame. Temperatures in the 30s to perhaps start the day, but again, we do have that system moving in. And as that system moves in, brings that northwest flow, that very strong northwest flow, we will have a temporary cool down right behind that snow. So as you can see, temperatures go from, it's that 30, 35 degrees to start the day on Friday, all the way down to temperatures below zero as we move into Friday night and early Saturday. And in fact, most places early Saturday morning could be below zero. You can see temperatures of -5, even up there in the UP, -10 for your actual air temperatures as we move into Saturday. We don't rebound too much as we move throughout the day on Saturday. Temperatures will be in the mid to low teens, even single digits for portions of the UP. If we go ahead and go back to our 12Z, which kind of takes us a little bit further into the future, you can see just that. Here's your high temperatures for Saturday. You see a couple 11, 12, 13 degrees along the lakeshore where lake effect clouds are ongoing. Otherwise, temperatures are going to be at 10 degrees or below for your Saturday. So a cold Saturday on tap, but as we move into Sunday, that cold air starts to filter right back out, and we do have another chance at temperatures in the 20s and even 30s as we move into the last half of the weekend, also known as Sunday. So those are your temperatures for the next 7 days. We also have to look at our wind chills the next couple days as well. I know they've been very brutal to us lately, but fear not. With the warmer temperatures this week, they're not going to be as bad for most of the days. We'll start off tomorrow morning, wind chills across the state. Could be below zero for portions of southeast Michigan. Otherwise, most places are going to be above zero for a wind chill on Monday. As we move into Tuesday, more wind chills below zero for the UP. Otherwise, if you're downstate, not as bad. Wednesday, one of our colder days of the week, more below zero wind chills on Wednesday morning for the Upper Peninsula. Lower Peninsula, down around zero again. Wednesday, Thursday, kind of warming up there. Friday, also not too bad as we have the snow moving in. But as we move into Saturday, here comes all that cold air down from Ontario. And those wind chills on Saturday morning could be as low as -20 degrees. So a temporary cold as we move into Saturday, as we keep hinting at here. But then again, as we move into Sunday time frame, those wind chills start around 0 degrees and improve vastly throughout the day. We won't go any further into next week, but as it stands right now, next week has been flip-flopping back and forth over the last couple model runs. And again, this is why we don't talk about anything past 7 days, because it does change very rapidly in the span of that time. So we won't go past Sunday, but we can tell you right now, between Ryan's last video and this briefing, that it has flip-flopped at least 3 different times between it's going to be warm or it's going to be cold. So we will talk about the second week of February as we get into the back half of this week. Just be patient. I know a lot of you guys want warm weather. It's coming eventually, but we do have to make it through this first week of February to at least start. We'll go ahead and go into the radar tonight. We'll actually go ahead and zoom in to the state of Michigan, so it's a little bit easier to read and see. Switch over to that's the Euro, HRRR. Surface simulated reflectivity, there's our precipitation type and cloud cover for the next 48 hours as of 1 p.m. this afternoon. So here is current time of this briefing. So right now, skies out there relatively clear. We had a nice day out there today, a lot of sun. The moon is full right now as well. We have the snow moon ongoing tonight. So if you haven't already, you're interested in night photography, feel free to go snap some pictures of the ongoing full moon out there tonight. But as we move into the overnight hours, we do have snow starting across the Upper Peninsula early. As we move into the early morning hours tomorrow, Monday, here is 4 a.m. So that snow that was in the UP is now moving into the central and eastern UP and portions of West Michigan. As we move into 5, 6, and 7 a.m., this symptotic snow, so this clipper, does bring light snow across the entire lower peninsula. As we move into the 8 o'clock time frame, 9 o'clock, and 10 o'clock time frame, now the snow is moving over to the east side of the state. So right after that morning commute, as we mentioned, for east of 127, if you're west of 127, it will impact your morning commute more greatly. As we move into Monday afternoon, we do have scattered lake effect snow showers, kind of hit or miss across the entire state, not really pinpointing any certain location down. As you can see here, all those little blue marks on the screen are little lake effect bands. So throughout the afternoon hours, we could see those bands continue. And on top of that, because the temperatures tomorrow will be warm enough down at the surface and there is enough ample moisture, we could see a little bit of freezing drizzle mix in. It's not getting picked up on reflectivity, but behind the scenes, when we look at these soundings that these balloon launches give us, temperatures are going to be down at the surface in the 20s. That's going to result in slowed ice or slowed snow formation. So it's called cold rain. So that freezing drizzle does form. And again, it's hard to see on reflectivity, but it does exist in some capacity tomorrow. So while we may not have a decent dumping of snow tomorrow, that freezing drizzle could slick up any and all roads that it does impact. So do keep that in mind and definitely allow yourself some extra time as you go about your morning commute and perhaps your evening commute tomorrow for Monday, Groundhog's Day, the 2nd. As we move into Tuesday, we do have a little bit of lake effect snow continuing across mainly the Upper Peninsula. And of course, there is some mesovortices on Lake Michigan due to the winds out there and the change in temperatures. But for the most part, Tuesday will be a rather cloudy day with a couple peaks of sunshine out there in the east side of the state. But right now, no big impacts for Tuesday. We'll go ahead and switch back to our pivotal weather here for our long-term precipitation for the rest of the week. So it gives you a good idea of what to see Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is day 3 and beyond. So as we move in through Wednesday, again, the Euro does not show the the more intense, I guess, snowfall on here because it is wider in nature. The resolution's not as great, but again, some lake effect snow possible on Tuesday. Now we move into Wednesday. So here is Wednesday. Not much going on out there. We do have a little disturbance moving through Iowa, but other than that, nothing going on in the Great Lakes. Thursday, more clear weather as well. Perhaps a couple snowflakes for the UP prior to the system moving in. And then as we move into Friday, here comes our system that we are watching. As it stands right now, we won't give you any definite totals, but again, right now it is looking like at least kind of nuisance snow there. So, totals probably between 2 to 4 inches. Again, can't really pinpoint a location down yet, but early indicators show, kind of that light to moderate snow falling statewide as it stands. And again, we talked about it earlier today on our page that there's a lot of uncertainty still. This system is moving in from the northwest. It still does have time to wobble to the east or the west based on its orientation. And so that could bring different snowfall totals to different portions of the state as we move throughout the rest of the week. But as we move into Saturday, high pressure takes over. You can see a 1035 there on the H. That is some very high pressure. That results in the clearing of weather out there for Saturday. It's going to be cold because of the lack of cloud cover, but it is going to be at least a sunny day in some capacity. As we move into Sunday, there does appear that there is at least a little bit of snow moving through portions of northern Michigan, but nothing too concerning that really kind of indicates, warrants a warning, I guess you could say, on radar right now. So we'll keep an eye on it, but as it stands, it looks like Sunday is going to be nice and clear as well. And that does end the loop for projected radar over the next 7 days. Other than that, the only thing that we haven't really covered is more in regards to disaster relief. Yeah, Ryan, if you wanted to talk about this a little bit, I know behind the scenes it's been kind of a big group effort in terms of getting disaster relief supplies down to the Tennessee Valley region. And again, if you haven't seen our page over on Facebook or Instagram or X this week, we have been raising money and supplies for disaster relief down from the ice storm in Tennessee. So Ryan, feel free to elaborate on it if you would like at this time.
Yeah, so part of the mission here at MSC, we are heavily involved whenever there's a bigger disaster across the state that's weather related. We always like to show up and help with supplies and anything we really can to help out the locals there. So if you guys don't know, last weekend there was a major ice storm that impacted Louisiana, parts of Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. And a couple places got about an inch of ice. So if you guys think back to last year, we had an ice storm up in northern Michigan. It's on par with that, but over a widespread area, more widespread than northern Michigan was. So we're deploying a team down there. Plan is on Wednesday to head down there. But in the meantime, we have several thousand items that were purchased off Amazon, as well as a lot of donations that have been incoming over the past 5 to 7 days from you guys. So I want to appreciate you guys and thank you everybody for coming together for that. But the team is hard at work while Joel and I are in the studio here. Chandler, Matt, Alex, and a couple other people are hard at work sorting those boxes and making sure we are organized for our trip down. If you would like to consider monetarily donating, that is the only method that we have open right now because Amazon, the delivery time frames and stuff like that, there's constraints with it. So if you order now, it's not going to arrive until after we leave. So with that said, the only way to really help out right now is you can buy merch from our website. You can also purchase a Cameo, which is a new thing we're doing as of late, and then also direct donation via our website. Moderator can link it in chat here. But if you go to Google or your browser and you type in michiganstormchasers.com, pop open the website. On the very top bar, you're going to see a support tab. You click support, and there's a donate button underneath that support tab. You can go ahead and click that, and you can make a donation of your choice. That goes directly to us and directly for those in the South being affected.
Another thing I wanted to bring up here in terms of forecast, again, thank you, Ryan, for touching on that in terms of our disaster relief. The 7-day forecast that we released, in case you do not follow us on anything besides YouTube, we do have them out. We'll share them with you right now. Again, this is what we project throughout the next 7 days here in Michigan. So southern Michigan, that's I-96 and I-69. So from Muskegon to Port Huron and points south, that does include portions of Grand Rapids. This is your forecast for the next 7 days. Again, 25 degrees to start Monday and Tuesday. We do have some clearing as we move into Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures a little bit lower. And of course, we could break freezing as we move into the Friday time frame. And again, precipitation, because temperatures are going to be around freezing on Friday, that means we could have a little bit of snow, maybe some sleet, and perhaps, of course, some freezing drizzle mixed in as well. So we'll keep an eye on that throughout the week as we move closer to that time frame. But again, right behind that on Saturday, temperatures dip down into the very low teens, even single digits there for portions of southern Michigan before rebounding on Sunday. Central Michigan, kind of the same story here. You have 25 to start, 19, 23, and then around freezing for Friday, mixed precipitation possible. High of 9 for Saturday and a high of 26 for Sunday. Northern Michigan doesn't really get above 30 degrees, but a lot of consistency here, 24, 22, 18, 22, 29. Of course, the coldest day being Saturday, around 10 degrees. And a low, of course, if you don't see it there, that low, minus 10 for Saturday, and then rebounding on Sunday up to 25. And of course, the Upper Peninsula, which actually looks like the warmest section of our state due to more warmer air. I know, yeah, more warmer air being able to be advected in over in the UP. So temperatures 23, 15, 20 to start the week. And then a big heat wave. Of course, the mornings there are very cold. 2 degrees for lows and 31, 32 for highs Thursday and Friday. Snow showers possible Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, where the high there on Saturday will be 10 with a low of minus 12. And then we rebound up to 33 for Sunday. And that low there on Sunday is 8 degrees. So overall, again, not a terrible week ahead. No matter if you're a warm weather lover or a cold weather lover, again, it's going to be, it's showing us that there is improvement coming for those who like the warm weather and for those who like the cold weather. It's still cold enough outside to enjoy all the activities that you would like to do. So can't complain with the first week of February. And again, tomorrow's Groundhog's Day, so we get to see Punxsutawney Phil, who's really bad at his job, figure out what the weather's going to be for the next 6 months or 6 weeks. So, yeah, can't wait for that. I'll go ahead and turn to the comments, though. We are through the meat and bones of the briefing. If you're just tuning in, feel free to rewind to the beginning of the stream. And if you have already gotten the information that you need, make sure to drop a follow and a share and a like on the way out. Appreciate your support. We also have, I wanted to bring this up real quick before I go to the comments, a special weather statement just across the lake now. 4 1/2 inch of snow, perhaps a little bit higher in spots, and the possibility of freezing drizzle following behind. And that does include cities like Milwaukee, Madison, and Fond du Lac. So that is heading straight for southern Michigan throughout the overnight hours.
Is that your cat?
Once again, my cat isn't interrupting the stream. Well, go on. Every time. All right, looking at our YouTube chats here, super chats, we got Jacob M. back for month number 16 saying, gonna enjoy the warmer temps this week. Warmer in quotation marks, of course. Thank you very much, Jacob, back for month number 16. Julie, one of our mods, back for month number 21 as an EF3 member, saying, I'm going to prematurely ask about Aurora with the eyes emoji. Ryan, I'm gonna leave that to you.
Oh, I was hoping no one's gonna notice, but oh man. Trying to gather my thoughts here. So it's still early, but for those who don't know, probably a lot of you don't. Just before we were live here, there is a major solar flare, the third largest of this solar cycle, an X8 flare to be exact. With that said, there looks to be a solar storm that got launched from this particular solar flare. But initial impression when I'm looking at the imagery here looks pretty slow moving and pretty narrow and directed mostly east of Earth. So my initial impression is minimal impact here, maybe a shock wave that could send us down for a few hours of good activity, but I don't think it's going to be that big of an event based on what I'm seeing at this current time. If that changes, of course, we'll update you. But I'll wait for some models to come out as well for the next couple hours to really get a feel for it. But there could be potential midweek or so, Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe for some Aurora if everything cooperates, including the clouds. We'll see.
Absolutely. And with that high pressure moving in Tuesday into Wednesday, we may get lucky. It's just a matter of how much things line up. So, again, thank you, Julie, for the super chat and for putting Ryan on the spot. We also have Tommy back for month number 17 as an EF0 member, saying most trusted in Michigan weather and most reliable. Thank you very much, Tommy, for that nice compliment. Appreciate your support. Feel free to, again, as always, share our channel via word of mouth with all of your friends and family. Again, we're always going to be live, no matter what the weather is, especially for severe weather as we get into severe weather season, from beginning to end. So if you're new here, feel free to hit that follow button. Or if you're watching on YouTube, that subscribe button. We got Becca Price back for month number 20 as an EF0 member. Thank you very much, Becca. Ashley Cleaver back for month number 21, saying, anyone have a good groundhog recipe with the evil emoji for Phil? I'm sure the comments will drop a recipe for you there. And again, thank you so much, Ashley, for becoming in a month for 21 months. A member for 21 months. Also, Sue P back for month number 14 as an EF1 member, saying 14, yes, thank you for all you do for both Michigan and beyond. That's the good stuff with a thumbs up emoji. Thank you very much, Sue. And as always, for supporting the channel. It is going to be a very busy week indeed here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Again, everyone on staff has a lot going on this week, so I know me personally, I'll have a couple presentations the next couple days. One of them is actually on Wednesday night. If you are in the Belleville area, feel free to stop by the Flight Museum. I will be there presenting around 7:30. So.
Looking at the camera network here, we have clear skies across pretty much the entire state of Michigan. Then there's a bright moon rising, full moon tonight in the eastern skies. So if you're a photographer, reminder to get out there and, if you want to, brave the cold, obviously, get out there and take some pictures.
We got hoodies underscore girl here with 50 gifted memberships over here on YouTube. Thank you very much, hoodies. Appreciate your support. If you are a subscriber on YouTube, which it is free to do, check your account. You may have just been gifted courtesy of Hoodies Girl. Also, Hoodies Girl, back for month number 15 as an EF1 member, saying thank you for everything you do all day, or everything you do. I can't even read this. Thank you for everything you all do day in and day out for Michigan. No problem. I had to English there for a second, so apologies, but appreciate your support. Any warm-ups into the 30s soon? Yes, possible on Friday, depending on which portion of the state you are in. If you're in southern Michigan, we do have a chance at breaking 32 degrees, southern and central Michigan, for Friday. So keep that in mind. Again, that would break the streak of around 2 to 3 weeks straight of temperatures below freezing. Now, I will say this, we did have, I think it was like 7 or 10 days ago, I believe there was a brief instance where it did hit like 34 degrees in like Monroe and Lenawee County. You might correct me if I'm wrong there, Ryan, but otherwise the rest of the state's been below freezing for at least the last 2 weeks.
You know, I'm going to break it down on tomorrow's video on YouTube, but the 10 to 15 day long-term pattern, even beyond this upcoming week, it's quite interesting what's going to be happening, because models, I think Joel mentioned this briefly in the briefing here, models have been flipping back and forth, warmer, colder. And I'm looking at the afternoon data that rolled in here, and it's holding to its warmer period here. So I have a couple of takes I'm probably going to give you guys on tomorrow's YouTube video, but don't let it fool you. We could warm up here mid-month, but there are signs that end of the month could be quite cold. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Little teaser, little tidbit there.
I see, Joel, please bring us some sunny 70s soon, please. I tried when I came back from Florida.
Yeah, Joel.
I came back from Florida like the second week of January, and I tried, but no dice, so sorry. We also have Jacob Melton in gifting 10 memberships here tonight, so thank you guys so much for your generous support, especially you, Jacob, for the most recent gift. Again, that's 60 gifted memberships, so if you are a subscriber on YouTube, you can check your account. Also, I will say this, you do have to check your account, your YouTube account, because some accounts default to not allowing gifted memberships, so there's a way to turn that on. The moderators can help you out with that, I think, in chat.
I think Dawn had instructions.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that.
Yes, if you missed Friday right now, it appears that we do have a clipper moving in with some snow, but again, with temperatures around 32 degrees, some of that will fall as a cold rain, so freezing drizzle, and perhaps maybe a little bit of sleet mixing in as well. So it could be a little bit of a mess as we move into Friday. The current image on your screen is radar as of right now, current time being 7:33 p.m. There is, of course, snow on your screen, all the blues that you see. The darker the blues, the heavier the snow. So that exists across central Wisconsin, all the way up there into the UP in 2 different locations. Crystal Falls up towards the upper ranges of Marquette. We do have a second band of snow moving in near Ashland, Wisconsin. That is moving into the Ironwood region in the coming hour or two. And the snow is moving rather slowly, so this will fill in by the morning commute for portions of the lower peninsula, if you are just getting here. If you saw our post earlier today on Facebook, I know it's never too early to start talking about this, but we do want to make you guys aware that, of course, any month in the state of Michigan, severe weather can happen. We're not indicating, of course, severe weather happening anytime soon, but now is always a good time to be prepared, get your weather-ready plans in place for the start of severe weather season, because sooner rather than later, we'll be back tracking severe weather here in the state of Michigan. Last 2 years, we started on February 27th, and last year we had a couple severe storms in the middle of March. I wasn't around then, but it was just normal severe weather. So it does start, Ryan's waving because he remembers that. Last couple of years, it's been either late February or early March as the start for severe weather season here in the state of Michigan. So if you're new here to the state of Michigan, again, it's never too early to get prepared for severe weather season. Now, for snow forecast, I guess I can bring that up real quick. I'll go ahead and turn my attention to the HRRR and go to the latest Kuchera snowfall for through the end of the day Monday. So our forecast, if you saw it early this morning, we have for pretty much the entire state a blanketed 1 to 3 zone. The reason being is because the snowfall totals with this clipper are so close to the 1 inch mark that we basically bumped it up as a matter of precaution. There's a great possibility that most places throughout the state of Michigan tomorrow, especially inland and points east, won't get to that inch mark. I will say that right now with confidence, but again, because we do have a displaced DGZ, so the dendritic growth zone, which is where snow forms the best, that DGZ is kind of shifted a little bit from where the strongest of the moisture is, and it's higher up in the atmosphere. We want that growth zone to be closer to the ground and more moist. And so with that being a little bit higher up, it is going to be harder to get those snowfall totals. But the models are kind of 50-50 on how moist that DGZ will be. So we wanted to play it safe. We do have a 1 to 3 zone out. As you can see here, the HRRR kind of indicates that. You see anywhere where the dark grays start, that's 1 inch expected between now and the end of the day on Monday. So anywhere where you see the blues, that's 2 inches or greater. So that does include some of these lake enhancement zones from really Holland and points north up towards Traverse City. And of course across the western UP and the eastern UP, where you have totals of 2 to 4 possible there. If you missed our snowfall forecast, I guess I can bring it in here real quick. I'll zoom back down. And
you
there
could
you
also
go.
show Chandler off while you're there.
Yes. So this is our snowfall map for tonight through tomorrow evening. So a very safe 1 to 3. And a lot of places will not even get close to 3 inches tomorrow, but it is there just because there's a possibility that we do just get above 1 inch. So it's kind of that teetering line between, is it going to be right at 1 inch or below, or is it going to be right at 1 inch and just above? So it's very difficult. And again, just be expecting of snow tomorrow, and of course perhaps a little bit of freezing drizzle as well as the system moves in. But yes, that is Chandler. This was earlier this morning. Those are all the boxes that you guys helped donate for ice storm relief down in Tennessee. We also have later this afternoon, we did also have a couple more pictures here. Chandler, Matt, Alex, and extended family also sorting all the materials, because again, we want to make sure it's all ready and able to be distributed evenly to the places that we're able to end up going to. So a lot of sorting going on today, and we'll have a lot more boxes coming throughout the next couple days. So if your delivery has not arrived yet to our office, again, it is coming, and we will not leave anything behind. We'll probably be making multiple trips, right, Ryan?
Yeah, we have a couple packages that'll be arriving a few weeks out just because of Amazon's delays there. Those will still get down there. It may not be immediately, but they'll get down there in the good hands.
Yes.
We tried our best to get items that were that had short delivery dates. There are a couple ones that we missed, but we tried to fix them as we saw the dates get updated. I think a lot of what happened was the local warehouse, we bought so much stuff that some of the stuff got on back order pretty quickly. So we may have emptied the warehouse in some cases.
Yeah. It's a good problem to have, though.
Unless you're an Amazon driver. or USPS worker.
It's true. Shout out to those people who've been getting the packages out
Absolutely.
this week. It's a tall task.
Saw a comment a few minutes ago asking what phase the MJO is in. That's more of an advanced question. But if you're still watching, the answer is stuck around phase 8, going to phase 1 here shortly. MJO is a tool, or not really a tool, but it's a teleconnection, we'll call it, that we watch that kind of can dictate our weather patterns here across the US. I'm hearing Friday may be big. Any signals or models showing heavy snow? There's not one model showing heavy snow. Not one model. It could snow on Friday, but also, as Joel mentioned, it could be a little bit of a mix of some freezing drizzle, perhaps some sleet as well. Temperatures are hovering right around freezing, but no particular model is showing a major snowstorm for Friday. So whoever's telling you that's on something, that's not going to happen.
Curious to see what the Euro has for ratios. Yeah.
Joel, I don't want to put a damper on anything. Not really a damper, but there is yet another X flare happening.
From the sun.
2.84.
Could be a good week for Aurora. We'll just have to see if that's deflected our way and if it has CME.
We will see. With these solar flares just happening, it's very hard to analyze if there is a solar storm or a CME that got launched. Where is it going? How fast? It's very early on the process here. So we can get initial indications and ideas, but actually, you can take my screen if you want to, Joel. Whoops. So there's the sun here. We're looking at this sunspot region right up here. My mouse is circling. I'll zoom it forward here to the evening. You can see a lot of the ejections going to the east of Earth here. But we'll have to see if there's an Earth-directed component with it. That is a major solar flare. Very beautiful as well. Let me pause that, actually. It's crazy. Anyway.
Going back to our snow ratios, again, we look at this for snow liquid ratios. So totals, at least for right now, are around 1/4 of an inch. Places, at least as it stands right now in the thumb, could be a little bit higher than 1/4 of an inch. Again, with temperatures being around 30 to 33 degrees, again, those snow ratios are going to be a lot lower. You're looking at 10 to 1, and then you cut that into 1/4. So you're looking more close to about 2.5 to 1/4. So that means, snow totals are probably 1 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 for Friday. It's very early right now. We can't jump to that conclusion yet. But again, this is not looking like some major winter storm like some places might be talking about. So do avoid the hype. Careful who you trust. And again, we will talk about snow totals for Friday as we get closer to that day. But Sunday, 5 days before the event, is not that day. So if you just missed it, again, we have 2 chances of precipitation this week. One is tomorrow, Monday the 2nd, and the other is Friday the 6th. Other than that, it should be cloudy to partly cloudy skies throughout the week as high pressure dominates between our northwest flow, our clippers that are moving through. Do we have any free spring subscription trials to be had? We'll see.
Could be coming the second week of February. We'll see.
We don't want to get your hopes up and then crush them, but those models keep flip-flopping on that second week of February.
Come back tomorrow on YouTube. I'll have a video breakdown on what we could expect, or what we could see at least.
How historic is this cold weather? So good question. We've had a couple days this year. Actually, we've had since January 1st, I believe, at least 3 or 4 mornings where we've seen statewide low temperatures being broken. I know Grand Rapids had one day where they broke their actual low temperature by a couple degrees. So there's that. And again, we haven't seen wind chills like this in at least a decade. So again, friendly reminder that it does get cold here in the state of Michigan. I know it hasn't been like that the last couple of years, but this year, it's like a winter of the old times.
I think the lowest wind chill recording this year was -57 up in Iron River, I believe it was.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely be careful with other pages out there. There are some other pages that do cover the state of Michigan that I don't know what to say other than some of them aren't even located in the state of Michigan. They're forecasting from outside the state. So do with that information as you would. Other than that, we are starting to wind down this Sunday Night Weekly. If you missed any of the information, feel free to scroll back to the beginning. Best way to do so, of course, is to subscribe here on YouTube. Our username, MI Storm Chasers. As always, we are live here, as well as on Twitch, X, and Facebook. But again, the best viewing platform will always be YouTube. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't. It is free to do. And before, of course, we end the stream, we wanted to shout out our trusted partners here at Michigan Storm Chasers. As you guys may know by now, trusted sponsors are the ones that keep our streams rolling 365 days a year. So feel free to support via whatever services they do have here at the Michigan Storm Chasers and across the entire state. So a lot of them have to do with roofing and siding, but there are charities you can donate to as well, and we'll go through them right now. Starting off first, of course, with Storm Guard, Metro Detroit North, our longest standing sponsor. Feel free to give them a call there. Number is going to be on the screen on the left side as we go through. Katz Roofing and Siding, based out of Lansing and Potterville. Mike Hayes, Roofing and Siding, based out of Sanilac, St. Clair counties. McKay Tree Specialist for all of your tree care needs in southeast Michigan. Over in West Michigan, it's Kuiper Tree Care. On Top Roofing for all of your roofing needs in Livingston County and surrounding areas. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, covering the West Michigan area. Up in Northwest Michigan, so that would be Mason County, that would be Ludington, Traverse City, A-Class Construction and Restoration. Back down to West Michigan, for all of your restoration needs, turn to Rainbow Restoration. They are the premier sponsor of the day here at Michigan Storm Chasers. For all of your LTE wireless communication needs via walkie-talkies, turn to Rapid Radios. They are what we use to communicate with our Storm Chasers here at MSC. For all of your security camera needs, turn to Guardian Technologies. They are based out of Burton, Michigan. Donate to families in need by donating to the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Detroit. Find out how you can donate by calling the number on the screen. For all of your tree care needs in Southwest Michigan, American Arbor is the place to call. Apex Restoration for all of your restoration needs across the Genesee County region and the Thumb. Clear Plow Snow Pushers. Make shoveling snow a breeze with Clear Plow Snow Pushers based out of Frankenmuth. Top Notch Tree Care. For those living in Lansing, Jackson, and the 127 corridor in between, Top Notch Tree Care is your place to go for all of your tree care needs. And lastly, Crystal Flash. For all of your propane delivery needs, contact Crystal Flash today at the number on the screen, covering pretty much the entire state of Michigan. If you would like to become a trusted partner here at Michigan Storm Chasers, reach out. Chandler's your contact guy. Chandler at MichiganStormChasers.com. We'd love to have you on for the 2026 season. Spots are limited, though, so if you want to get in on this, email him sooner rather than later.
And also be patient. He's very busy working disaster relief, so he may not get back with you immediately.
That's
So
also true.
be patient.
Again, for those who don't know, we have 7 members on staff. There's only 7 of us. Besides, of course, we have our storm chasers as well, but 7 primary staff members that run everything behind the scenes here at Michigan Storm Chasers. So we are all very busy this week. Anything else here, Ryan, before we head off?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. We do have a traffic map. I will say this, if you are following us on Facebook, Michigan Storm Chasers, we do have a traffic map. I guess it'll be out on X and Instagram as well. Username MI Storm Chasers. It will be out at 8 o'clock, and that will be in regards to your Monday morning and perhaps evening commutes across the state of Michigan. So feel free to check in to our social media pages in about 10 minutes from now, current time 7:50 p.m. But other than that, shout out to our moderators helping out in chat tonight. Appreciate you guys as always. And to everyone that's been watching, thank you guys for hitting that like button, share button, whatever you guys do to keep Michigan Storm Chasers going. It all helps, even the free support of liking and sharing. So thank you guys very much. All the help you guys have helped us out with over the last couple days, couple weeks, couple years. And we will continue to be keeping you covered from beginning to end throughout the rest of the year. So stay safe out there tomorrow if you have to travel. And we'll catch you soon for another stream. Or, of course, a daily forecast video. Ryan will have it out tomorrow. So check back in over here on YouTube exclusively for that video. But we're going to sign off for now. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Stay safe out there. And have a good night.
Thanks, guys.